is coming in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which define main purpose of government in accordance with Chapter 2 Fundamental.
So you have not be dispensed with in the case of a motion or in respect of any other proceedings for which notice is required, except with the consent of the President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present. We have to ask for consent of the senators. Okay, so you may take your seat. Distinguished Senator Ismail Akawu mentioned that he had a motion of urgent importance. But as we are now, is it the consent of the Senate that he be allowed to take the motion? Those who are in support say aye. Those who are against say nay. Well, the ayes have it.
Session, and as we go, we should be taking note of the small mistakes that we can make, and we should correct them. The issue of saying that you have ruled, if the ruling is wrong, even the Supreme Court, when it passes judgment,
Distinguished Chief Whip, Chief, go ahead and move your motion.
Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. Chapter 2, Fundamental Objective and Directive Principle of State Policy, Section 14, subsection 2B, which stated that security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Sir.
Senator Kawu, point of order by the DSP.
Mr. President, we don't continue to repeat this mistake again and again. It's order 63. With your permission, I read. The President of the Senate, in the Senate, and the chairman in any committee shall be responsible for the observance of the rules of order in the Senate and committee respectively, and their decision upon any point of order shall not be open to appeal, shall not be open to appeal, shall not be open to appeal, and shall not be reviewed by the Senate except upon a substantive motion after notice. So once you have ruled, nobody can bring up that matter again until a notice is given and a substantive motion is tabled. So once you rule, you have ruled. Except you want to go against this.
Your point of order is sustained.
Thank you, Mr. President. To open up economic activities in both countries as the closure of the border had a devastating impact of business in the area. This is the motion. Can I continue? Okay. So, note that the recent closure of Nigeria-Niger border put at risk trade worth than $1.3 billion along the trans-Saharan trade route connecting 6 African countries, namely Chad, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, and Tunisia, following a military coup that ousted Mohamed Bazoum and sacked the democratically elected government. There is no gain saying that Nigeria and Niger have been linked in trans-Saharan trade going back history. Aware that the border closure decision on 8 August 2023 has taken by the economic community of West African states as part of the measures put in place to frustrate the military junta. In addition, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the chairman of ECOWAS, also advocated for a military intervention to push out the military junta out of the country and to restore democratic government. The coup in Niger Republic in 26 July 2023 has been condemned by entire world and have unfairly backed the ECOWAS military action and the other economic section to bring down the government of President Muhammad Abdurrahman Sani. Further aware that Nigeria and Niger Republic belong to the African Continental Free Trade Area. The agreement is meant to establish a single market for goods and services across 54 African Union countries and to allow for free movement of business, travelers, and investment. It also meant to create a continental custom union to streamline trade and attract long-term investment in the country. What is that? The two countries at the time signed agreement on border frequently condition to allow free movement of goods and services within them. Third, presently the situation and the economic activities has deteriorated since the border closure. The international market in border towns market at Ilela Market, Sokoto State, Kamba in Kebbi State, Shinkafi in Zamfara State, Jibia Katsina and Mai Adwa Daura in Katsina State, Mai Gataria and Bapura in Jigawa State, and all border towns in Yobe and Borno State. Moreover, international markets in Kano such as Kwari Market, Dawano Grain International Market, Sabongari Market, Singa Market, and etc. Further, what is that? The policy of border closure is to force military junta to back down and restore democracy within a shorter period of time. But instead, Nigerian citizens are suffering, which causes unemployment, rise of insecurity and domestic crime in 7 neighboring states, and Kano being the commercial center of northern Nigeria, which is against Nigerian constitution, more particularly Chapter 2, Fundamental Objective and Directive Principle of State Policy, Section 14, subsection 2b, which stated that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Further worried that citizens of countries are experiencing untold hardship as a result of sanctions imposed on Niger Republic by ECOWAS. Economic activity.
Come, the journalists. Don't interrupt senators when they are speaking. If you want to do any interview with any senator, please let it be after the sitting. Do you understand? Clerk, you've noted this action. Don't come in when senators are speaking to interview any senator. If any senator has anything to say, you go to the press gallery. Don't do that interview again. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Further is that both countries are experiencing untold hardships as a result of sanctions imposed on Niger Republic by ECOWAS. Economic activities in border towns with the international market as a major source of trade and commerce have witnessed a sharp decline. Many businesses are struggling to survive, while some have even collapsed. It is not easy to see that the food chain supply has broken down, with trucks from both countries for the conveyance of foodstuff are not allowed to load their cargo to their destination. Cognizant that the border closure is not in the interest of both countries. Third, more eminent in Niger Republic, where there are pocket insecurity, security threat, terrorism, insurgency, while the Nigerian side, as I stated earlier, our traders are witnessing low patronage in their business, but pleading that the border closure be lifted with immediate effect. Acknowledge that Nigeria and Niger Republic have so many things in common: cultural, intermarriage, language affiliation, just to mention a few. Recently, the last administration extended a 284-kilometer rail line network from Kano to Maradi in Niger Republic, which is associated to boost the trade and other socio-economic interaction convey goods and services between the two countries. The rail line is expected to be completed by 2025. Resolve that the Senate urged the federal government to consider the reopening of the border between Nigeria and Niger to allow for free movement of trade and businesses in the two countries, as commercial activities have drastically gone down in these areas. Also urge the federal government to play the big brother role in West Africa by championing a well-articulated plan involving dialogue and diplomacy with a view to restoring democracy in Niger Republic. This new plan will protect refugees, migrants, and internally displaced people in the two countries. Mandate the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs and Cooperation and Integration in Africa to interface with all relevant stakeholders who are grossly affected economically as a result of the border closure, and recommended how best to assist the trader to their lose in pursuant of a section of the Constitution as mentioned earlier, and report back to the Senate within 21 days. I so submit, Mr. President.
Any seconder?
Ostensibly for economic benefit. Having gone through 6 years of the closure of border, what befalls all of us is the tragic economic downturn of Nigeria and Niger as a matter of fact. So this is save our soul matter. Save the souls of Nigerians, save the soul of Nigerians. Of course, the recent closure of border is all known to distinguished colleagues, but the repercussion of the closure of border is so pronounced, is so profound, that when you visit those states bordering Niger community, you see the effect of this border closure, you see the effect of the economic devastation, and that is coupled with the fact that those same communities, those same states are also invaded by a kind of civil unrest and criminality by the elite. So it is a double tragedy that the upper part of northern Nigeria is being affected. And when you look at Kano, as the most vital economic nerve center of northern Nigeria, you could see the effect. And when you take Kano as an example, it does trade almost 36 states of Nigeria, and therefore the devastation goes round, particularly from my state. The neighboring state of Bauchi, Jigawa, Kaduna, the price of items have quadrupled, and consequently, because of the foreign exchange and the issue of the value of the naira, this has added terrible effect to an average Nigerian, particularly from the northern part of this country. So this issue of border opening is simply to call the attention of government to the effect, and looking at the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which says the sole purpose for government is protection of lives and property. The protection of lives and property has a question mark. So it is important to now create a new way for which we want to live. We want to survive. We want to see tomorrow. We want to see to the enthronement of good governance. And we want to make sure our tomorrow is better than our today. But what is happening right now, there is helplessness, hopelessness of the entire economic prosperity of the northerners, and in fact, generally of our Nigerians. So the issue is not about northern Nigeria, the issue is about all of Nigeria. The issue is about all citizens, because one way or another, we are intertwined, we are intermingled, we are one people with common destiny. So, Mr. President, this is a worthwhile motion. It doesn't need elaborate debate, and I call on the President and Commander-in-Chief of Nigeria, Senator Bola Tinubu, to look at this matter from a human perspective, with a human pace, in making sure that suffering is ameliorated. People are giving hope. And therefore, it is important that we see this motion as it is.
Move the resolve to back the economic community of West African states, the governments and all that, on any decision taken in respect of the Niger crisis. So I want to appeal to you to step down further discussion on this until we can obtain security situation report and consult more with your security services in respect of what is happening on the border. We shouldn't depend only on the social media hype. So that's my appeal. So let me give you the opportunity to step it down until we can have more informed decision from our security services.
And the responsibility of the chief whip. Is it 54? The chief whip. Just as a way of, advising the Senate on the way we do things. Mr. President, this is the Senate. This is the Senate. And we should not shy away from learning.
Sorry, the clerk, can I have that order 54? Order 54. Order 54 says, shall locate time to all sequence of speeches, motions or bills coming before the Senate. So as we are coming under Order 54, this is what is written there. So I'm sorry, Leader, we rule you out of order. Yes, Leader of the Senate. Leader of the Senate.